to pass from me to a great master. Tolstoy, in Anna Karenina, we were talking about it yesterday, surely one of the greatest novels that the world has ever seen. One of his points was to torture Anna Karenina until she couldn't bear it anymore. Vronsky is extremely secondary in the book. Don't you think so?
This is right, yes. I hadn't thought of that, but this is right.
So I took Henry in various directions. The directions of despair, of lust, of memory, of patriotism, various other things to take him further than anything in ordinary life really can take us, unless a girl leaves her. That's a special case. We make an exception.
Scene 2, take 1.
There's a wonderful conversation between them at the end of that.
That's right.
So, the one that begins, are you radioactive, pal? Pal, radioactive. Has you the night sweats and the day sweats, pal? Pal, I do. Is that thing on the front of your face what it seems to be, pal? Yes, pal.
That's right.
It's quite a good passage.
It's a great passage. Yeah, marvelous passage. But why does the part that represents, as it were, the serious final answer, the final negative answer, why does that have to be done as a joke? Is this the only way you can face that?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. In a book I wrote one time about Stephen Crane, a very serious artist, a major writer, I think, a fine poet, and a pretty good novelist, and great story writer, one of the greatest story writers the world has ever seen. I said that Crane's irony and grotesquerie were forms of response to things so ghastly that you cannot respond to them directly. Now, I think something of my feeling, there's no influence from Crane in my work, but I had something like the feeling that that is what I was doing myself. Namely, his friend relieves the tension, relieves the hopeless solitude of Henry, faced with the world as it is, and enables Henry first to calm down a little. Henry is always in a very bad state when Mr. Bones comes in. The friend is, of course, the end man in minstrelsy. Namely, he and Henry are very closely connected. They're part of the same outfit. Huh? But on stage, as they are on stage, the scene has to be given to Henry. And his friend only gets in terms of quite serious disapproval of, for example, there's another passage. Henry is getting excited about a girl. And he says, there ought to be a law against Henry. And his friend says, Mr. Bones, there is.
That's right. That's a great...
Now, that relieves the tension for that song so that you can move on to the next one. Poets don't get very much fan mail. But I had a lot of mail after I published this song in the United States. I may say that the mail was entirely hostile. Life, friends, is boring. We must not say so. After all, the sky flashes, the great sea yearns, we ourselves flash and yearn, and moreover, my mother told me as a boy, repeatingly, ever to confess you're bored means you have no inner resources. I conclude now I have no inner resources because I am heavy bored. Peoples bore me. Literature bores me, especially great literature. Henry bores me with his plights and gripes, as bad as Achilles. Who loves people and valiant art, which bores me, and the tranquil hills and gin looked like a drag, and somehow a dog has taken itself and its tail considerably away into mountains or sea or sky, leaving behind me, Wag.